Hi, my name is Sudi Burnett and welcome to my show Body, Mind and Spirit. Today's program is about holistic approach to weight loss. By holistic, I mean we are looking at the body on all levels of existence as a whole and not separated. The body can be looked at as a 4-story house, as our bodies are made up of 4 interpenetrating planes of existence or levels of vibration. This might sound complex, but it will make sense to you as I explain it in a simple way. The 4 bodies are spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and so much is left out of possible treatments and explanation of a disease. Now, these 4 bodies has to be taken care of daily, clean and cleanse. And by doing so, we can create balance throughout the whole body. The spiritual body deals with the question and answer of who I am and why am I here. Whether or not you believe in God, I think we can all agree that there is an energetic force in total we call the universe. As we are within the universe, not outside of it, then we can see and declare that we are part of it and not separated. I believe the feeling of separation and acting on those feelings is what creates chaos in our lives. There is a saying, as above, so below, meaning whatever we see on the outside is the same as inside. So if we are within the universe, a smaller version of its everlasting ability to create, therefore we create ourselves and all of our experiences. When we accept responsibility for all of our action and understand that the outside world is only a mirror showing me what is going on inside, then we take the handle of how to clear and clean those 4 bodies. Through awakening is when I realized that all changes happens within and then it would reflect itself on the outside. Just a spiritual law to keep in mind regarding the concept of giving and receiving. We have to continue to be an open circuit to receive all the abundance that the universe gives to us as a gift. If the only thing we do is just give, 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 and never allow the universe to give back to us, then we're just as out of balance as someone who only takes. I hold the viewpoint to be grateful for all the abundance that exists in my life right now, and by doing so, it will create more in my life. Whenever I see or feel lack, I make it a practice to go back and make sure that I'm understanding that this is only my own projection and creation towards the world. So when you see that and you have that awareness, you can just go back and being grateful for all the abundance that existing in your life at this time and this moment, and that would create more abundance instead of lack. I hold the thoughts to surrender and trust that this universe has taken care of me always and it always will. Emotion moves us. Just look at the word emotion. E for energy plus motion. So whenever I start coming from the emotional place of trust and surrendering, that would move the outer universe into action alignment with abundance and new ideas. And that will create more in my life. Love is the highest vibration there is. When I choose to come from love and act in love, then according to law of attraction, karma, or cause and effect, what I give out, it will come back to me. We often look at love and fear like 2 different sides of a coin. But actually, love and fear are not the opposite each other. They're kind of in one way, or they're merging together. Because when I'm feeling fearful, if I only take that first step then I started to feel the achievement, the excitement will show up, and then love will show itself. So you see how love and fear can just move to the same direction, and that would be to my advantage. I believe that all the separation is created in our mind because we constantly looking at things, analyzing things too much, and therefore we see things black and white. But what if I change my lens, and instead of having so many different lenses, just look through one lens, and that lens will be love. And then everything will transform and be beautiful from that place on. Mental body, the second room in the house. There's a couple of different ways that we can look at this, because here we're dealing with our brain. As we all know, our brains are divided into two lobes, right brain and left brain. Right brain is dealing with creativity, with art. Left brain is logic, mathematics, and practical things. Now, you all heard the phrase, you become what you think about. And this is really powerful because it's the truth. At any second, our brains receives billion bits of information. Of course, our conscious mind is not going to be able to absorb all of that information. And we all have heard that when we gain some new information, if we don't use it rapidly in the next 70 to 72 hours, probably 80 to 85% of that information will disappear from our conscious mind. So consciously, we don't have that information. But on the other hand, our subconscious mind, it has a hard drive with unlimited space for information. So that means from the time that we are a little wound in our mother's stomach, our conscious mind is just absorbing and grabbing all the information plus all the energies from everybody who is around us. In order for you to achieve any goals, you have to have the conscious and subconscious mind to come with an agreement. They all have to go to this together. Otherwise, you will never achieve your goal because these two are moving to a different direction, right? What happened, that information gets to your subconscious, and the subconscious is like, wait a minute, but according to my data from before, you don't love yourself, you don't think you're worthy, you never achieve any goal, you have ADD, you start things and then you never finished it, you open up like 10 projects and you never do it, you never achieved anything. So all these beliefs that you have that are hidden in your subconscious mind is going to show up. And that's the reason when you want to lose weight, and you tell yourself that Monday I'm going to start, suddenly Monday you catch a cold, or accidentally, as you think is accidental, you're going to twist your feet and you're going to injure yourself, or something weird will happen, you get into a fight, or you lose your job, or you don't have a good temper, or something will happen. You see what I mean? So that's why the word willpower doesn't exist, because it's all about the conscious and subconscious mind to come to an agreement and go through this goal together. I hear that a lot of people tell me that I want to lose weight. And just look at the word losing. How do we feel when we lose something? Losing is a negative energy, and for us as human, when we lose something, we do anything to gain it back. So first, we have to change the word losing weight to, for instance, gaining our ideal body weight. Or better yet, because our subconscious mind works at the present moment, don't even talk about losing or achieving, just say, I am having my perfect body. I have a beautiful body. I am so happy and so grateful for the body that I have right now. Be mindful that your thoughts have vibrations. Whatever you say, whatever it comes out of your mouth also have vibration. So the fastest way from the holistic approach to lose weight is to think happy thought, to see yourself being happy, to feel joy. So you probably think that you beat up yourself a few times, that you didn't exercise today or yesterday or maybe last week, or you're not exercising enough. So keep in mind that it's not so much about exercising or intensity of the exercise. From the physical matter, yes, these all exist and they're important, but not when we're looking at it holistically, not when we're looking at it universally. Because the feeling, like let's say you didn't go today to the gym to work out, but instead if you went to the beach and you really enjoyed yourself and you really felt good, that pleasure, the good feeling, the joy feeling, it will help you to lose the weight rather than you went to the gym and you hated it. All that bad feeling and those negative feelings are not going to help you achieve it. So you see what I'm saying? It's all about energy. It's not so much about what you do or the intensity of your work or the food you eat. So surrender, be happy, be in a place of joy at all time, and the universe will match that up for you. So thanks for being here. This is the end for mental part. Emotional body. Previously, we talked about the mental body and we used the phrase, you become what you think about. So whatever we think about, then those information is going to be transferred to our emotional body. And now we're going to feel those things. So what are you thinking? If it's positive, of course, you're going to be feeling grateful. You're going to be positive. You're going to be uplifted. If your thoughts are negative, then you're going to feeling down. You're going to be heavy, and you're going to be carry on a lot of sadness. And all of those thoughts, those negative thoughts, they have energy. Plus, they did many research and they find out that people who were gaining a lot of weight, it was all emotional reason. What are your thoughts and what are the feelings that you're hiding behind it? Because a lot of people, they made this jail and they're hiding inside and they have a lot of excuses. If I lose weight, I will do this. If I lose weight, I will get a better job. If I lose weight, I will find my soulmate. But what we don't understand is that our weight has nothing to do with our goals or what we would like to do, right? So here in the emotional part, I would like to give you some tips on how to deal with your emotion. In order to release a lot of emotions that we have to kind of emerge back to our mental body, because we said first is the thoughts that creating that, right? So meditation is one of the best way that will help us with not only weight loss or any goals when it comes to our emotions. Because when we do meditation and we go to that mindful state, when there is a stillness, in that stillness, nothing exists. Therefore, there is no thoughts to create any emotions and there is no emotions. When we do that, we come to that awakening that is really amazing. I understand that I am not my mind. I am not my thoughts. I am not my emotions. So who is this? I see myself as someone who's standing back as a third person and watching all this thing. So as I detach myself from my mind, from my thoughts, from my feeling, I just become the watcher or observer of these thoughts or this emotion. So I don't dive into them. Do you see what I'm saying? So when I get to that stillness, the only thing I feel is love, joy, and bliss. And this is what we also call going back home. When I do that, I just become a source of love and light. I'm vibrating really high. And when I come out of that state and I enter to this physical matter or to this physical world, for hours I am really still detached, number one. Second of all, I bring all that love out into this world. So I'm very loving towards others. And I come from a place of awakening. Therefore, whatever everyone else is doing is not bothering me. And I'm still standing back as that third person and I'm watching this. So many times when I do coaching or when I do study with other people, I do private session, I often tell them to just look at this as a movie. I said, when you look at a movie, you know that you're not the actor. You might get really involved, you might feel the emotions, you might laugh, you might cry, sometimes we get really excited. But at the end, we know that this is not the reality. We know this is not the truth, right? So for that moment, we really get engaged in that movie. But then we see that, when it ends, that was just a movie. So it's the same thing here, because everything that we see in the material world is only an illusion. And if we get it, that this is just the illusion, is not really the truth, is not the movie, I'm not the actor, I don't have to act, then everything will change. The more you do mindful meditation, the more you become still, the more you go to that quiet, still place, the more you detach yourself from your thoughts and from your emotions, the better you get the handle of how to deal with these emotions. Most of all, what helps you to release the weight is to love yourself, to come from a loving place. When you love yourself, then you start to be kind to yourself and see this body, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whether it's mental, just see it as a sacred place. Look at this body as something that has been given to us as a gift, something that is temporary. Is just a place to hold my soul for this lifetime. So look at it as a gift and take care of it, be kind to it, and be gentle. So I hope this part was useful to you. Thank you so much, and we're going to move to next part, which is physical part. Physical body, the fourth room in the house. Here we're going to talk about how to lose weight and what would be the quickest way to lose weight. I'm sure you or someone around you at some point has tried to lose weight, or maybe you are still struggling to lose weight. So we're going to open up everything to see what's the best healthy way to not only lose weight, but keep it off forever. Okay, if you're ready, let's get started. The first concept that we have to keep in mind is calorie input and calorie output. So in order for us to lose 1 pound, we have to lose 3,500 calories, right? You can divide that 3,500 calories per day and then per week. So if you cut back 500 calories per day, 7 days, that would be 350 calories. So of course, when you want to cut down on your intake calories of food, you don't want to take it out from your main food, which is your proteins or your good carbohydrates. You want to deduct that from your sodas, from maybe extra butters, or from the creams, or things that are not really having any nutritional values for you. The best way to lose weight is no more than 2 pounds per week. And the reason being is people who lose a lot of weight very fast and quickly, they never keep it off, right? So if you want to lose weight and keep it off, it's the best way to lose it slowly, but you're doing it moderately. So let's say now that you want to lose 2 pounds per week. Then you need to 350 plus 350 calories is 700 calories per week. So then you're going to lose 500 calories from your intake, food, whatever you're eating, and 500 calories from exercising. Any kind of exercising will do, and we're going to get into that with details. So now, what kind of food, or the quality of the food, or the way you eat the food, or when you eat the food, this all comes into consideration of how and why you're losing weight or you're not losing your weight. The best way to do this is to start your breakfast with protein. Now here I know that a lot of different trainers or many different diets will tell you differently to mix your protein, carbohydrates, and fat together. I happen to disagree with that. According to alternative medicine, many problems and illnesses, or especially if you're getting bloating or you have problems with your digestion, it starts because we're mixing the combinations of different foods together. I believe if you do one mono diet, one food, or 2 or maximum 3 is the best things to do. So if you teach your body to have a good breakfast that would set your blood sugar, especially if you eat some protein, and then eat nothing till lunch, then you have a good size meal lunch, and then you go till dinner, and then at dinner time you have a small portion of protein and maybe some vegetables. Again, that would help you with your weight loss. Also, you will hear a lot of time that if you stop eating 6 or 7 p.m. and don't eat anything till the next day, that style alone will help you to lose a lot of weight. According to Ayurvedic, they divide people into 3 groups: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Vata is, they have quality like air. So their body is very light. They don't gain weight very easily. They're great athletes. They move very quickly. Their body is very light. And they call them like winter to fall people. Then we have Pitta people. Pitta is fire. So this is summer people. These are very energetic, very competitive. They have a lot of anger. They get angry very fast. They lose their temper very quickly. Since their body temperature is very high, they better eat like very cool, summery, fresh, lot of vegetables and fruit to balance their body, to take some of the heat and add some more coolness to the body to create the balance. Next, we have Kapha. Kapha, the way it's written is K-A-F-A. But as you resemble the calf, these are spring people. They are hypometabolic. They're very prone to have allergies, and they cough a lot. They're very sensitive. So these are spring people, and they should eat a lot of spring food. And because they get a lot of allergies, I recommend that these people, they definitely separate their food. So they eat the fruits just on an empty stomach and alone. and they eat their carbohydrates, starchy carbohydrates with non-starchy carbohydrate, meaning if you're eating wild rice, brown rice, you can eat it with beans and vegetables. If you're eating any kind of proteins, you can only mix that with non-starchy carbohydrates, which are vegetables, salads, and sprouts. Next, I'm going to talk about blood type. Most of the time when I ask people what food allergies you have, they said, oh, nothing, I'm okay with everything. But that's not true, because according to your blood type, everyone has food sensitivity to some kind or some form of food. So let me go very briefly through this. The first generations were O blood type. So these blood types are very good to eat a lot of protein. Their body can release a lot of enzymes to break down proteins, and they can do proteins and like vegetables, sprouts, salads, things like that. The second generation will be B blood type that are stronger. They have less food sensitivity. B blood types, for instance, they're allergic to chicken, lentils, to name a few. Then came the A blood type. A blood type cannot really digest a lot of animal proteins, so they are better to be eating like vegetarian diet. So a few years back, I created this diet that you eat according to your blood type. Therefore, whatever your blood type is, let's say you're an O blood type and you're allergic to wheat and gluten and all that, then you don't eat any of that. So you eat red meat, white meats, maybe some seafood with vegetables, and then you separate proteins, carbohydrates, and fruits. Now, this is the alternative way of eating food. As you might heard, fruits are really good for us because every different fruits offer us a lot of vitamins and minerals. This is true. But it's also true if you only eat fruits on an empty stomach. Every time you mix fruit with proteins or other starchy carbohydrates, that creates a lot of problems. So if you have problems with indigestion, if you're overweight, the best thing to do is to separate fruits, protein, and carbohydrate. So you eat fruits one time alone, you're not mixing fruit with anything else. And then when you eat your proteins, like red meats or white meats or any kind of dairies, you don't mix it with starchy carbohydrate. You can eat, for instance, a piece of salmon with grilled vegetables or salad. If you're eating starchy carbohydrates, you can mix the starchy carbohydrates with non-starchy carbohydrates, but never ever mix fruits with anything else. By doing this and just following this, you will lose tremendous amount of weight, your energy level will shoot up, and then you don't have any underlying other problems or sinuses or indigestion, as I mentioned before. So what's the best and quickest way to lose weight through physical activities? Aerobics, as we all know, the word aerobics, it means something that you need air. So that could be anything from running, jogging, swimming, playing tennis, basketball, football. These are all aerobics. Then we have resistance training, or we have weightlifting, that you're basically stationary and you don't need that much oxygen in order to do that activities, right? So let's start first with aerobics. As we all know, aerobics are great because it raises our metabolism, it builds better and stronger bones, it helps our lungs to get stronger. Then the lymphatic system, where is releasing all the waste when we do aerobic exercise, that would help a lot with all the releases of toxins from our body. It makes our heart to be stronger. It helps with the flow of the blood throughout our system. So these are all the benefits we can get from aerobics. When you do weightlifting, because the muscles breaks down and it takes a lot of time, energy, calories to rebuild that muscle with more strength and more density, then this will take 24 hours to burn calories, right? So that's why I have always been a firm believer that weightlifting is a major part of losing weight. So when we do the combination both, we can maximize our result to lose as much bodily fat as quick and shortest time that we can. Okay, so this is what I can tell you about exercise routine, but also because I'm coming from the holistic approach, I would like to tell you that imagination is an amazing thing. So when you imagine yourself having the body that you want instead of just nagging about the body parts that you don't like, it's going to give you what you want quickest, because as we all know, according to law of attraction, everything has energy. So when I constantly see myself the body that I like, and from the emotional body, I'm always excited and I just love myself and I see myself that body, then we're not confusing our subconscious mind. Then the subconscious mind knows that this is exactly the body that I want, and it just gives me that. Thank you so much for being with me, and I will see you soon.